Hey everyone, welcome back to D's Happy Eats. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade Alfredo sauce. And to be totally honest, I generally buy jar Alfredo sauce, but homemade tastes so much better. So much better. What you're going to need is, for this amount, which should be enough to feed at least 4 people, you're going to need 2 cups of heavy cream, you need a stick of butter, or a half a cup of butter, whatever you want to call it. Or is that a whole cup? No, it's about a half a cup. Yep, either way. A stick of butter. A quarter of a pound of butter. You will need 2 cloves of garlic, chopped up, or you could use the jar garlic that I normally use, but I figured I'd get fresh today. You're going to need Parmesan cheese. You need about 3 cups of this. Sorry. You need about 3 cups of Parmesan cheese. I got shredded. You can get the powdered stuff, but this is definitely better. I think anyways, it's better to use. You can also, instead of Parmesan, if you're really not a fan of Parmesan, you can use Gruyere cheese. That works very similar. Actually, you don't even need to use those types of cheeses. You could also use cheddar cheese. You need about 3 cups. However, I really like savory flavors, so we're doing Parmesan and cheddar today. We're going to mix them. And you'll need a little bit of parsley. It's up to you how much you want to use. I'm probably just going to sprinkle some in, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And smelly stuff, because it is an aromatic. And it smells good, and it tastes good too. So this green stuff over here is chives that I just pulled from the garden. I'm just going to add that in for some extra color. And it's a very mild onion flavor, which is going to pair well with the garlic, I think. And next is we just go to the stove, because everything's prepared for us. And by us, I mean I prepared it before I started the video. Alright, 1 second. Alright, so turn on your stove, get a pot, and just turn it on to kind of a low heat. So we don't want it too awfully high. We don't want to brown the butter. Just want to melt it, because that's the first thing that's going to go in. Alright, so with the butter in there, you just wait for it to melt. Alright, now you're going to have to keep a really close eye on your butter, because you don't want it to brown. Like right now, if I were to leave it for another 30 seconds or so, it would start browning. So we're going to add our cream to it now. And that's going to stop it from browning. Alright, then you're going to want to turn the heat up a little bit to medium, where I had on like medium-low. It's going to be like medium. We want to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Because we want the butter and the heavy cream to kind of combine with the heat. Alright, so it's been simmering for about 5 minutes. The butter is a little bit on the top side, then the heavy cream's on the bottom. I mean, you're going to get that, so you're going to have to keep it moving. You don't want to burn any of it. It is dairy products, after all. The whole thing is dairy products. It's amazing. So we're just going to add our cheese. More cheese, the better. Now that goes. Like I said, you need about 3 cups. I have about 4 here. And then I'm also going to be adding cheddar cheese to it, because more cheese is better, like I said. Plus, I didn't want to measure out that cheese yet, or that cheese at all. I just want all of it. I want all the cheese in the world in it. That's what I want. You're going to want to add your garlic and anything else that you're adding to it, like chives now. That's going to take a little bit to melt the Parmesan, because the Parmesan doesn't melt the greatest. So, yeah, my mathematics isn't the greatest. That was actually only 10 ounces of the Parmesan cheese. So that's why we're adding another 4 ounces of 4 to 6 ounces. Actually, it's going to be 6 ounces. I'll make sure of it. Of cheddar cheese. So yeah, in any case, that will actually make it a perfect 2 cups of cheese, and we have our parsley. I'm just going to take some, and I'm going to put a thin layer on top of the whole caboodle. Just a little bit. Maybe a pinch more. There we go. I know, a pinch and a pinch and a pinch and a pinch. This is about a teaspoon, level teaspoon. So, if you need to know an exact measurement. But cooking should kind of come from the heart, I believe. I mean, anyone can read a recipe and follow it in general, so long as you pay attention. But to be able to cook something from the heart, that's something a lot of mothers know how to do, that's for sure. So, we got that Parmesan melting in there. And it looks good. It melts stringy-like, and I have read online that a lot of people like to use Gruyere cheese because it's similar flavor, but it melts a lot better. So now it's about time for us to add our cheddar. And here we have our 6 ounces of cheddar cheese. Because cheese. You can never have enough cheese. And you could have added that in right along with the Parmesan, but I want to make sure that the Parmesan was the primary base before I added the cheddar. Then you just kind of mix it in and let it melt. It's going to take a little while. I want to say it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes for it to completely melt and come together. Alright, so the Alfredo sauce is pretty much done at this point. All the flavors are melded. The cheese is mostly melted. There's still some chunks and stuff in there, but that happens. I've noticed that my Alfredo's very thin right now. So, what you do is you bring it to a quick boil. Not a rolling boil, but you wait till it starts to boil, and then you turn it right off and let it cool down, and that will thicken it right up for you. But you're going to want to keep it moving, otherwise you're going to burn the cheese, because a lot of cheese. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like after it's done. Alright, so we're at the point where I'm ready to turn it off completely. But I want to show you what it looks like, because it's not quite oil. It's just kind of moving. And actually now it's going to start boiling. And you don't want to quite get to that level. You can see it already starting to thicken. So I'm going to turn it right off. Alright. I'm actually going to recommend you take it right off the heat entirely. I want to stir it up a little bit, make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. Make sure you get the edges. You can see that thickening up real good. And that is essentially your Alfredo. That's a base. That's what you buy in a jar, except for this is going to be a lot more flavorful because everything's fresh. You can add chicken to it. You can add pretty much anything you want. It's very heavy when you pick it up with a spoon. It's got some significant weight to the liquid. But like I said, it's going to be a sauce. It's going to thicken right up here. Just got to cool down a bit. The flavor is going to be amazing. I'll have Fox Quinn try it for your guys' entertainment. Alright, now we're going to have...
Oh, my hair's not...
this pretty lady try this Alfredo sauce. And she's going to tell you what she thinks. hot.
I have some too.
Mm. Ooh. Wow, that's good.
I have some.
Well, what's it taste like?
Can I have
Cheese.
two?
Tastes like cheese, she says. Well, that's what Alfredo should taste like. So, she wants to try it too.
Good though.
Mmm.
It's very good.
It tastes a little hot, too hot. But it is too hot. It's so yummy. I am a baker.
And there you have it. The best Alfredo sauce either one of them have ever had. And see that? It's getting nice and thick now. Like I said, I mean, this is how I'll be making snake bite pasta. Is I'll make this and then I add my peppers to it and the chickens and all the other good stuff. Pour it over your linguinis or your pastas or toasts or whatever you want to use Alfredo sauce on. I actually sometimes buy the baguettes and I will get a jar of Alfredo sauce when I'm at work on my lunch break, and I will actually just dip the baguette in the Alfredo sauce and eat it like that. So, you know, depends what you want to do with it, but that is how you make homemade Alfredo sauce. It's really not that hard. It's not really that time consuming. And it tastes amazing. See you guys next time. Remember, eat happy.